Hi friends, this is Hemant here, and today we'll see how to parse a CSV file from Linq. So let's get started. I have opened a console application over here and given it a name of Parse CSV. Now let me go and attach a CSV file. I'll right click on this, add existing item. So let me add this player.csv file. Okay, so let me go and open this player.csv file. So here you can see the first row is the player ID, player name, date of birth of the player, batting hand, bowling skills, country, and is umpire. So this player.csv file is a list of all the players playing in the Indian Premier League. Okay, and the data is the player ID, the player name, the date of birth, the batting hand, whether he is a left-handed batsman or a right-handed batsman, the bowling skills, country, and whether the current this player is a umpire or not. Okay, so let me close this and come to my main method. Okay, now what we need to do is right click on this player.csv, go to properties, and in the copy to output directory there's a drop down box, select copy if newer, and we can also change build action as embedded resource. Okay, so what this will do is whenever we are compiling this application, this will take this player.csv and put it in your bin folder so that it is readily accessible from your application. So now let me give a variable players is equal to process CSV, and in this we will give the path of CSV, which is player.csv with PS capital, players.csv. Okay, so now this method is not declared. Let me go over here, process CSV, and control period, so it would generate a method for me. Okay, so this method is generated. Before that, let's go and prepare our class. So public class players. So what we'll do in this player class is we'll go and see what are the columns here. So ID, player name, date of birth. So ID, string, player name, then what else we have, date of birth, prop, string, player date of birth. What else we have, batting hand and bowling skills. Bowling skills, country, and is umpire. Is umpire. So why we have used this class is whenever we are retrieving it from the Linq, we would assign all those rows which are present in the player.csv in our player class. Okay, now let me go and delete this. Okay, now this v is the path which we are giving it to process CSV. So write the Linq query, return file dot return file, which is an object in system.io, file dot read all lines. So here what we are doing is we are reading all the lines present in the player.csv file, where, so what should be the where condition? Row such that row dot length, the row dot length should be greater than 0. That means it is not blank, it has some values. Okay, and from there we would be selecting player dot parse row. Okay, so this is the method which we are giving to the select clause. Okay, let's create that method. So this method would be created in our player class. Okay, one more thing, in this we don't need to select this first row because this is the header. So let's go and skip that part, skip 1 and give it a semicolon. Okay, so now let me explain what I have done. So in the first line what I am doing is reading the file from the path. We are ignoring the first line in the player.csv file because it is the header. Then we are checking whether that row which we are getting in the file has some values. If it does not have any values, then it would be 0. Okay, and after that we have passed a method parse row to the select method. Okay, now coming down to our parse row method. So see this, it has taken this as object because it does not know what it needs to return from here. So what we are returning is a player object, and internal static would be fine, and this would be a row. Now what we'll do is we'll divide that row into columns. Columns is equal to row dot split. So from what we'll be splitting? Okay, so if you can see, this is a comma separated file. So we'll separate all this column based on comma. So let me go and put this comma over here. Okay, now what is this column? It's an array of all the player details. Okay, so now we have got a line. So this row would contain individual lines, and that individual lines we have split by commas. Now from here we would be returning new player. So we would be writing a player ID equal to column of 0 because it is a 0 bits index. Similarly, we would have player name is equal to column 1. Then what we have, name, date of birth, batting hand, bowling skills, date of birth is equal to column 2. Then we have batting hand is equal to column 4 sorry 3. Then we have bowling skills is equal to column columns 4. Then we have country as column 5, and last whether he is an umpire would be the column 6. Int dot parse okay. So now what we have done over here is filled the values what we are receiving row by row from the player.csv, and we are trying to create a player object and return it from create this player object and return from the parse row method, so which would be given over here. Okay, so now this player would be pre-filled with all the values which are retrieved from the player.csv. Now how do we know that? So let's go and iterate over each player. For each where items in players individual player. Now we see over here that players, this is showing as for each statement cannot operate on variables of type object. Okay, so this we are getting from process CSV, and in process CSV you can see that it is listed as object, but this is a list of player which we would be retrieving. Okay, and this we need to give as to list. Okay, now this is satisfied. Let's go and iterate over the players. Console dot write player dot, you can see that IntelliSense is showing me so it's name, player name, plus let me show players dot country. Okay, so now we have finished retrieving the data from player.csv, populating our class player, and then creating a list of whatever was there in the player.csv in terms of our object list of player, and this list of player we are passing it to our variable and then iterating over this players and showing it on the console. So let's go and run the application. So before that let me do console dot read line. Okay, let's go and run the application. Oh, now it is showing me system.io.filename file not found players.csv in my debug. Okay, but we had taken care of player.csv. Okay, so how do we debug this? We need to check that copy to output directory, copy of newer is there, and embedded resources marked. Okay, now let us go into the folder and see what is the issue. What we have given is players.csv. Okay. Oh, we have only player.csv, not players.csv. So there is a typo. We'll remove this S and let's try to run it again. Okay, as you can see, this data is retrieved and it is shown like Dr. Martin from Australia, S. Narwal from India, AB Bharat from India. So this is what we have retrieved over here. If you can see this player name and the country name. So like this, if you want to retrieve the other details like date of birth, whether he is a left-handed or a right-handed batsman, what kind of bowling action he has, and from whether he is an umpire of not, that also we can display over here. So as of now I have displayed only the player name and country, but this shows how a data is retrieved from a CSV file. We are putting that into our class, making an object of it, and then we can print it on our console application. Okay friends, this is how we had retrieved the data from CSV file. If you have any questions, queries, do put it in the comment section. Thanks for watching this video, and do share and comment on my videos. Thank you.